This guy is a dickhead. This is part 30 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 3. While I'm not a huge fan of Bleak's design, and as a kid he was pure nightmare fuel, I am a huge fan of how they've changed it up for this boss battle. It's like the final exam of Swanky's Sideshow 10. And I'm just realizing that we've never talked about Swanky in this series, so let's do that right now real quick. Swanky's back in DKC3. Instead of a multiple choice minigame, you're now knocking down targets with rocks. It's fun, but it can be a bit rough at first. The margin of error is also not great. Anyways, it's something different, it's generally pretty fun, and you can tell the developers put some elbow grease into it. Bleak's fight is the same gameplay format, only instead of targets, you're trying to hit the boss's weak point. Placing Swanky's tent right before the boss battle was an ingenious move. Whether players know what's coming or not, it helps them get their eye in, and get acclimated to the controls before going up against Bleak. The boss battle operates the same way, with you moving side to side and throwing rocks. You can switch between short distance and long distance, though the game doesn't really explain that. You've just got to figure it out. As you might have guessed, Bleak appears both in the background and a bit closer, so you've got to switch between throwing distances on the fly. After 2 hits to his special button, he starts launching huge snowballs out of his head like a cannon. Not too hard to avoid, and he sets you up for an easy shot after each run. After each hit, he gets faster, changing up his pattern, as well as bringing back the first phase's snowball flinging. But it's fine, really. While he's one of the hardest fights in the game, I wouldn't call the fight hard. That said, it can be challenging to new players. I don't really know how to work this into the script, but the red sky looks awesome. Imagine seeing a giant face in the side of a mountain of snow. Imagine if the eyes and mouth of that face were steaming up glittering light. The game doesn't sell the look at all, but it would be so terrifying if you saw that in real life. Documents don't tell us much about Bleak, but I think his very existence is yet more proof that the world of DKC is a magical one. We've had no shortage of proof over the previous 2 games, but yeah, Bleak's gotta be magic. As for how he came to life, or who brought him to life, I don't think we'll ever know. And while it kinda goes against what this series is all about, I think it's better to leave some questions unanswered. It doesn't take away from the richness of the world, it adds to it, just in a different way. Maybe he was made from one of the snowmen in the background of the snow levels, and has been watching us this whole time. Part 30 is over, as is our time on K3. This series was fast-tracked to be ready in time for Donkey Kong December, and fast-tracked again when I had issues recording the last few DKC2 videos, and so we'll be taking a bit of a hiatus from now on. Rest assured, there's still plenty more DKC goodness coming this month, and we'll be back for Razor Ridge sometime this year. I'm in no rush, but I do think sooner rather than later is good. Thank you all for hanging around for Donkey Kong December. I know it's been a bit overkill, but I've really enjoyed the project. I like being able to make a lot of videos in one go, even if it is a shit ton of work. Until next time.